Welcome, Gunrunner.
Hey everybody, Kieran aka the Retro Laird here, and I'm back with a book review for you this week. After the Easter holiday, I'm kind of back to my usual schedule. But that said, I did the modern arcade walk around last week as a quick fix video, and actually went down quite well. So yeah, maybe I'll do something like that again. But today we are looking at a book review. You'll see there is actually 3 books in the picture right now, and those of you who follow me on the social media channels, which is the Laird's Lair Facebook page, obviously the YouTube channel you're watching this on, and I also have at Retro Laird on Twitter, and you'll see me post about these books. There's 3 of them by Jamie Lendino. We're just going to be looking at one of them. I wanted to do them all in separate videos, so don't rush them and do them justice. And yeah, these books have been out for quite a while, and I've been after them for quite a while. It was just one of those things that I just hadn't got around to buying. But I had a load of Amazon vouchers to use. Number one, number two, I got sent this offer on Amazon, came up on my account. That was, you could buy all 3 of these books because I was already watching them, and I think it was £30 if I remember correctly, for all 3 books, which I thought was really good. I'm not sure what the price of them individually is, or whether it says that on there. It doesn't on the back, no. But yeah, I think it was £30, and I got free shipping obviously as well. So yeah, it was a really good deal. So I couldn't say no at that price, and as I say, I had vouchers to use anyway, so it cost me pretty much nothing. I think I had to pay a £5 or something like that. Yeah, the vouchers didn't quite cover the whole price. But anyway, I digress. So I'm going to try and look at them in order, so to speak. You see, this one is called Adventure, the Atari 2600 at the dawn of console gaming. Then you've got Breakout, how the Atari 8-bit computers defined a generation, and Faster Than Light, the Atari ST, and the 16-bit revolution. So obviously I'll do the 2600s first, then we'll look at the Atari 8-bit book, and then the ST book last of all. So what are these all about? Let's have a little look-see. So obviously this is these are paperbacks, kind of A5 size, so not massive books. As you can probably already see, kind of expect, these aren't like full colour coffee table books. These are all black and white, but they do have imagery in them as well, as you'll find out. Published by Ziff Davis, and what's the page count in this roughly? If I can get a rough page count, which I can't see. Okay, so we're looking at just over 250 pages then. Oh, there we go. 278 looks like. 278 pages it looks like for that one. So there we go. I didn't notice those page numbers at the top. I was expecting them to see down the bottom. So let's have a look at what this is about then. So this is a quite hard one to hold, because I can't really put it on the stand because of the size, and I already experimented with that and it wouldn't stay. So here's our contents page. Introduction, we've got beginnings, open worlds, invasion, ICBMs, pitfall, empire, assault, gravity, endgame, acknowledgements, bibliography, notes, index about the author. So yeah, so these chapters will make more sense in a moment when I explain a bit more about the book. So there we go, we've got our introduction, talking about the very earliest days of video games. And that's important because basically what this book is a timeline of the Atari 2600, covering kind of its most important releases, from when it first came out in 1977 to the video game crash. So that's where it ends. It doesn't go into the Trammel years with the Junior and all the new games that released then. It is an American book as well, so obviously that's why the crash is sort of important. I mean, I know Atari, an American company, and the crash was a pretty big deal, but obviously it is an American book, so it is American centric, but not too much, not as heavy as some others are out there. It has a good understanding of the worldwide market. So start off with this, which is obviously quite a bit of history for the early days of video games. And it's interesting there, it's got why read this book. And it says, let's face it, some people think the 2600 sucks. Nope, I don't. A big part of the problem is the perception that it wasn't powerful enough to run proper arcade conversions, as well as the games were too simplistic. There are a lot of cartridges that not only don't stand the test of time now, but didn't play well even then. So it goes on like that. So basically, I can see his point, what he's saying. There are a lot of people like that. I've encountered them. And funnily enough, I even remember when I had an Atari 2600 as a kid, in the late 80s. I didn't have one early on. And I had friends with like Master Systems who, as soon as they saw I had one, they went, "Oh, that's complete rubbish. Oh, look at the graphics, they're crap. Oh, why'd you get one of them?" We got one because we at the time we were very, very short of money, and that's pretty much all we could afford. I wanted a console, and that was my pretty much my only choice, as I've explained in videos before. But when they played some of the games, especially some of the later games that came out, the more advanced ones like California Games and Rampage and Solaris and stuff like that, they were actually quite surprised about how good they were. And even some of the earlier games they wanted to play. I mean, I had a friend who actually at that time had an import PC engine. Not many people have one of them, Japanese PC engine, and he used to come around my house almost every day at one point because he'd become completely addicted to Defender 2. He didn't want to go home and play on his PC engine. He wanted to come around my house and play Defender 2. True story. Funny that. It was a great conversion. So beginnings, so obviously it talks about the Magnavox Odyssey, Nolan Bushnell, Al Alcorn, into the 2600, microprocessor revolution, all of that kind of thing. The iconic joystick. So that's the very beginnings. So obviously we've got plenty of history there to start off with. And it manages to go pretty in depth, even though it's not, a complete history book. And then what it does is you'll see, gone ahead of myself slightly, it goes into the launch lineup, starting obviously with Combat, which is the first game in September 1977. So there we go. So it's got a review, no rating, just a review talking about the game with a screenshot, and it goes on like that. So then we've got Airsea Battle. There we go. Indy 500. There's Surround. There's Video Olympics. So it goes through the very, very first games, and then carries on from there. So the next chapter is Open Worlds. That's just talking about things getting a little bit more advanced in terms of what we were seeing, and the fact that they managed to make the 2600 a bit cheaper. So we've got there's the conversion of Space War. There's Outlaw, which of course is pretty famous because it was programmed by David Crane, who obviously went on to do Pitfall and form Activision, and it had some pretty big sprites. So they were blocky. They were pretty impressive. The conversion of Breakout, Basketball, which famously featured in the Airplane movie, Video Chess, which actually was pretty revolutionary because of the Venetian blinds effect that Bob Whitehead created to be able to do the game, and something that he took over to Activision when he went with David Crane to form Activision. Superman, Bowling, Adventure, obviously, which was very important as the sort of first recognised graphical RPG. And it carries on like that's the Invasion. Obviously, that's the arrival of Space Invaders. There we go. And other big name games. We've started to see a lot more coin-up conversions. There's Maze Craze, there's Circus. Activision's obviously first titles start to arrive, like boxing and skiing. There's Dragsters, another one. Fishing Derby. There's Night Driver, Dodgem. So then it goes on like that, really. So more Activision stuff. We've got a Port of Missile Command there. The iconic Warlords. So yes, it covers all the major games. It doesn't cover every game. But certainly the Atari stuff, the Activision stuff. There's Stampede, Super Breakout. It goes in Magic stuff. So they've got Arrival of Pitfall here. Grand Prix, Mega Mania, Chopper Command. So all of Activision's amazing stuff. There's the first Magic game start arriving, like the absolutely superb Atlantis. I'm a massive fan of Atlantis. Absolutely love that game. Empire. So now we're going to. We've got more third-party stuff. So we've got Frogger from Parker Brothers. There's Commission of Berserk. Star Raiders comes along. Obviously a big game. Indiana Jones, Spider-Man, River Raid. There's some big name stuff there. Wizard of War. So M Network stuff as well as Tron Deadly Discs. There's Pac-Man, Sequest, Galaxian, Kangaroo, Battlezone, Pole Position, Gravitar, Laser Gates, Space Shuttle, Pitfall 2. So this is Hero, Millipede. This goes into the Crash, which is obviously end game there, which does talk about Jack Tramiel taking over Atari. Obviously the Atari 2600 Junior, so it does go to history again at the end and tells you what happened going forward after there, but doesn't cover any more of the games or anything like that. And then obviously all our acknowledgements and all that stuff at the back. So it's a kind of interesting book. I mean, obviously compared to say my Atari 2600 book that I did, where it's solely reviews really. This goes on both. It does reviews and it does history. In a very different way to mine. I suppose the reviews are more in depth than my book, or say Bitmap's book as well. That's another obviously famous Atari 2600 book. I'm trying to think if there's any others. I can't think of really any others actually. They're probably the most prominent ones. So the reviews are a lot more in depth than most of the other books out there from the Atari 2600 in this era. In terms of the reviews, it goes into a lot of technical details, which is good. It goes into a lot of the stories about how games came about, which is good. And it's very comprehensive in terms of citing people and referencing people, which is really good. So it's actually a good resource as well. It does well with the history, without going over the top. It covers all the major points that it needs to cover. It's a really well written book, and I've really enjoyed reading it, and I can't wait to get started on Breakout now I've finished this one. So apologies for the camera slip there. I need to get a new stand. This one's slightly broken, and I kind of forgot before filming this video, so I didn't notice it slip. But yeah, I've pretty much summed it up really. It's a really good book. I've really enjoyed it. I can't wait to read the next ones, which I'll get onto in due course. Breakout and Fast and Light. So expect to see reviews of those on the channel coming up. I've also got tons more magazine reviews to do, including a couple of really cool things that I've picked up recently, which if you follow my social media accounts again, you will have seen me give teasers to what they are, and obviously I always try to bring that stuff to the channel to share with everybody out there. I do try to share as much of the good stuff that I pick up as possible. Like just recently I scanned an absolute ton of magazines for a Facebook group that they wanted me to do, that I've been meaning to get around to for ages, but I'm short of time at the moment with the day jobs and stuff like that, so it isn't always easy to get stuff like that done, but I get around to it eventually. But anyway, I'm waffling on, but I highly recommend you go and read and buy even, then read Jamie Lendino's books. Adventure is a great start, and I'm sure that Breakout and Fast and Light will follow on from that. I thank you for watching. I've been Kieran, aka The Retro Lad, and I'll see you all again for another video very soon. Bye bye.